The Match Ball.
Hello there and welcome to the show. We are live on YouTube for our TSB Plus members who get early access to the Match Ball. You can catch it later. You can watch it in your free feed. You can listen in your podcast app as well. Levi Solicitors bring you this one with a 10% discount on your legal fees on their full range of services. Full details and terms on the website, Michael, yeah?
Keeping it short?
Yeah.
All right, fine. Will's probate conveyancing, just to tick that box.
Not mentioned care home fees.
You have now. Good.
Right, thank you.
Good. Anything to add, Chris?
Licensing.
Cool.
Oh, very good.
Big on my licensing.
Nicely executed. It's not a glamorous industry, is it, to talk about every week, but, you know, here we are. Right, where are we? I'm Dan Moylan. Michael Normanton's with me. So, it's Chris Mack. Right, 0-0 against Newcastle. What do you think?
It's all right, wasn't it?
Pretty good.
Good point, I thought.
Yep.
It's about as entertaining a 0-0 as I think you're going to get under the circumstances with two sides lacking attacking players, which I think showed. But in terms of a tactical battle, I thought it was quite good.
Yeah, and actually, after the two games are off the back of, just some good performances, which was kind of reassuring to see.
Yeah, a few changes. Well, a change in attack and maybe a little bit in tact as well that perhaps we didn't expect, given how Farke was quite stubborn in the press conference and the way that the Arsenal game went as well. Didn't really see that coming, but when I saw Nemetsch's name on the team sheet, I was very happy.
Yeah, same here. And I thought he had a difficult game in terms of anything to feed off, but he just basically had a wrestle, didn't he, for 70 minutes or whatever.
He did that quite well.
Yeah.
I would imagine that the defenders probably didn't enjoy playing against him, even though he's quite untidy with the ball at feet. But then it felt like he didn't really have anyone close to him.
Yeah.
Which I suppose whenever you don't have a number 10, you're probably not going to.
Do you think that, though, that today was the palate cleanser? Like, no matter what the shortcomings were, really, it was like the palate cleanser we needed after the week we've had, just to settle everybody down again.
Well, we were saying with Bryn, weren't we, that there was the Middlesbrough Cup game and then a 0-0, and it kind of reset as last year. Although last year everyone was furious with a 0-0, admittedly, because it was pretty terrible. That, though, Newcastle, I know they are missing a lot of players, but they're a good side.
But they're missing, 4 players?
Yeah.
But they also brought Anthony Elanga off the bench, who's, 55 million. Harvey Barnes off the bench, that kid Hall off the bench, or somebody else. You know, their midfield, they were still able to name Guimaraes, Tonali, and I'm forgetting who the other one is. Miley? Was it Lewis Miley?
Miley came off the bench.
Off the bench.
It was Ramsey, wasn't it?
Jacob Ramsey. There you go. There's more than £100 million in 3 players.
Yeah.
So it's the tiniest violin in the world for Newcastle right now.
Well, let's rewind back to the start of the game and the teams coming out. Not the teams coming out, the teams being announced. You know what I mean, the lineups, and it was the thing that everybody wanted to see, somebody who might have the ball stick. Which was the main criticism or negativity around the Arsenal game, and it showed today as well because he had that outlet. And I think, well, Perry's kicking at moments was a bit suspect, but you know, by and large, it gave him the chance to put his foot through the ball, and the ball would stick higher up the pitch.
And he actually made some saves today.
And it all looked, I don't know, stuff like Gruev being in midfield, all fine. Metcha being up front, held it up really, really well, brought other people into play. It allowed us to play in a different way. So even if it wasn't exciting and swashbuckling, it feels to me like that is the perfect example of a game in the Premier League. You know how hard goals are to come by in the Premier League anyway, and points are. I feel like that's just exactly what we needed, that whole thing. Mm-hmm. It was the performance we needed. All right, we didn't win it. We had some chances too. So, you know.
Yeah, there wasn't a good chance in the whole game. I looked on FOTMob, they're counting the Calvert-Lewin one towards the end as a big chance.
I don't know about that.
I don't either. It was a difficult angle. He wasn't fully set when it came to him either. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Getting it on target and winning a corner, which I think he did from it, was fine.
The Goodmanson ball in the first half, that was right down beside me. That if with a little bit more luck, that either ends up as an own goal or somebody at the back post. But I would like to see that happen a lot more.
Not half chances, but 3/4 chances almost, if you like.
Yeah. But yeah, to stick on Metcha, like Pirro in that game would have been so comprehensively bullied. It would have been utterly pointless having him on. It'd have been balls up to him, and Botman would have won every single one. And the two of them it was very hard to judge because obviously I'm a Leeds fan, and most people in the ground were Leeds fans, so everyone was screaming for free kicks. But Metcha was giving a lot back, wasn't it? It was one of those where Botman was grabbing him, Metcha was grabbing him and backing in. It was a good old a good old scrap.
I like that. All that backing in and falling about and throwing each other around. It was great.
The same happened up the other end as well. Like Rodon was giving it quite large to Osula at times. And there was one where for a half second, it looked like Osula was going to turn around and just biff him because he was getting really, really irritated with Rodon.
Mm.
Do you know the very vague link between that Botman has to the Leeds 11? That Ajax apparently released Strauch because they're Botman.
Oh.
And they judged him to be a better player.
Probably right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we were the real winners.
But we didn't pay a penny for Strauch, or very little.
Yeah. I suppose if Strauch had actually been given the pathway that Botman had, he probably would have ended up going for about 15-20 million from Ajax anyway.
Mm.
I did think there was a chance Biol played today as well. From the starting 11.
Yeah, Bryn mentioned it, didn't he?
He did, yeah. He thought he might play him as a holding midfielder, didn't he? Which
no,
I wasn't mad on. I have to say when he said it, I just thought, it feels.
It's just, but it was possibly Bryn thinking, well, you've got a bunch of big lads playing for Newcastle, like Dan Burn, for example, which I thought he marshalled him really, really well.
I enjoyed seeing Dan James going up for a header against Dan Burn in the first few minutes,
scrambling up his back.
Yeah,
the first Perry distribution kick went straight out, and then the second one was hit directly towards Dan James, who was being marked by Dan Burn. I was like, oh no. Please don't.
Perlo's Beard is making a good point here in the comments on the YouTube stream. Not having a number 10 is annoying, but having 3 across midfield makes us robust and hard to beat. I'd worry if we started playing with the number 10 that teams would find it easier to play through us. I suppose it's just about, if you do get the number 10 or whatever it is that we're still in the market for, it's just about deploying them at the right time, in the right game state, if you want to use a wanky term.
Yeah.
So we might not start a game like that with a number 10, but to have that, the option of that. I mean, let's do that. Let's jump onto Farker Watch and the subs, because would you say there was a little bit of consternation when it was Brendy and Jack Harrison that came on off the bench?
Yes.
Yeah.
But if Okafor isn't fit, who else is it going to be at the same time?
Yep. And do you know what? To my eye, it made sense as well.
Harrison did very well. Aronson, not so much.
Aronson, just abysmal.
Yeah,
he's not good enough at this level at all.
I agree, but then he did almost score or set up a Maradona-esque goal at one point. It's maddening, isn't it, that he can do that, and yet sometimes, like, I think it was one of his first touches where it just all went nowhere, or he fell over, or whatever it was.
He went backwards, and then I think it happened again after that.
Yes.
It
was the groan, wasn't it? It was the groan. Yeah. But I think actually the two of them being in there made sense from a doing the work perspective. It felt like a game we had to keep scrapping in that one. It was quite attritional, and having the two of them in there doing the work and just narrowing angles and things like that, rather than trying to pick it up and beat man, because it looked to the eye almost like a bit of a negative move. I suppose it's like protect what you've got, take off your 2 attacking wingers, and have 2 effectively midfielders or hard-working midfielders on. So are you going to sacrifice a little bit more of the forward play, or what did you think of it?
I sort of wish you wouldn't always take Nonto off, because I felt like Nonto was actually making a bit of progress today. He seemed like one of the more likely people to make something happen.
Yeah.
So I'd have been tempted to leave him on for a bit longer, but he's pretty much always the first person he takes off, isn't he?
Yeah. That may be a fitness thing. Like, they've got their wee GPSs and they might hit a certain level and go, right, get him off.
He's hitting the red zone.
There you go.
Red zone.
NFL chat. But I did think Nonto, cutting in from the left, he looked the most likely. I do like the little link up with Goodmanson.
And he can hit a shot from the edge of the box, can Nonto, as well.
He was looking for it a lot, wasn't he?
Whereas Brandon Harrison can't kick it that far.
Yeah. But I can understand the move in the end to bring those two on for the energy. I thought the midfield were starting to look quite tired towards the end, which you would.
Yeah, because it was a midfield battle, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
So I did actually wonder if you're going to bring on maybe Okafor or even Pero as like a number 10 and try and just
use the middle of the park.
Yeah, in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, but Harrison was, I thought, genuinely good when he came on. Had some really nice moments in defensive work as well, and then he broke well a couple of times. Slightly fluffed across when he was in a good position, but generally speaking, was
good.
See
why Farker likes him, and that's not to just get into the discussion about Laji Ramazani. I can see why he likes him, because he does the shape, he does the patterns, which is none of the exciting stuff that you want to see, but is really, really important, I suppose, at this level.
The thing with Ramazani, if you want to just close that off, is the second goal against Swansea. He loses the ball in a really silly area. And I think that is the moment that Farker probably just went, nah, not having that. And managers are stubborn, managers have big egos. So once he made that decision, I don't think he was backing up on it. I don't think Harrison does that. Harrison doesn't do all the good stuff either.
Talking about that midfield battle, sorry, yeah, Richard is just saying 10 out of 10 for Longstaff today. He must be running, even for sentimental reasons, running close to your man of the match because of the performance that he put in, which was to harry, to tackle. He went to ground a few times. It was kind of a bit of an old-fashioned midfielder's performance in many ways.
I thought it was brilliant. Yeah. Really good today. Yeah, It's weird because against Sheffield Wednesday, there was no real need for any ugly stuff because we should have been so dominant in that game, and we did indeed have the ball for the whole time. So it felt, between him and Gruev, it just felt infuriatingly sideways. Whereas in a game like this, where you're actually having to scrap for the ball, they both played a part. And I think Stack did as well. I think I struggled really to split all three of them in midfield today. I thought they were all pretty similar.
Yeah. Stack might have got that more visibility because he running with the ball quite a lot. But I really like Longstaff.
I do wonder if we did have a number 10 or a more progressive midfielder, I do wonder if long term you'd see, because I think Stack could play deeper. When he's in with Longstaff and Gruev, he is the most progressive of the three.
Did you see he was actually running in alongside Dominic Calvert-Lewin after those subs had happened. Yeah, I sort of caught him as the most advanced of the midfielders. Yeah,
but defensively he's very good at reading the game, and he quite often just seems to nick the ball off people's toes, and he just seems to he intercepts well and wins little scrappy battles. So there's no reason he can't be more of a defensive midfielder. It's just that in with Longstaff and Gruev, he's kind of thrust into being the attacking one.
I'm getting absolutely rinsed in the YouTube comments as well because I'm wearing my school shirt.
Yeah, go on, explain.
We need to explain it. I was in the director's box today.
Sell out.
High on the fucking hog.
I know. So, to explain, Chris, who runs LU Americas, knows some of the 49ers lot because he lives, we know each other from way back in the nightclub days from 20 odd years ago, lives over in the Bay Area now, coordinates the LU Americas lot, knows the 49ers lot. He got 2 tickets for...
I'm in the Bay Area, you in Bradford.
It's
hard to tell.
Hard to tell them apart.
The canal area.
Because we're off to New Orleans in a couple of weeks. This time in 2 weeks we'll be there. So he got a couple of tickets. Unfortunately, his dad wasn't well enough to attend with him. So get well soon, Mr. P. And Chris just said, do you want, quite late in the day, do you want to come and sit in the director's box? And I thought, it's the final couple of days of the transfer window. What an opportunity to go ruffle some feathers. And I did. I spoke to Robbie Evans. I did. Howard Wilkinson was there.
Did you manage to get his phone off him or anything?
Robbie?
Have a look through his WhatsApps.
Well, I did ask him for a message on the way out. I said,
just a big string of messages to Buonanotte with no replies.
I'll tell you what I will say. What I will say on the Buonanotte thing is they kind of almost just nonplussed. It's like, what are you doing? It's terrible, isn't it? What he's like to go to Chelsea under those circumstances. When do you think you're going to play? You daft little chump. Those are my words, not his, by the way.
Does seem a weird move.
But I had a little chat with Robbie before the game. Obviously, he was being, should we say, careful about what he said. But no, knowing that I'm going to come back and talk about it on here. But I did collar him on the way out and just said, cheers, thanks, bye. Can I have a message to take to the podcast now? What's going to happen in the final? What we got to look forward to in the final couple of days of the window? And he said, and I want to say this with a broad grin on his face, just said, he paused, thought about it for a second and just said, we will continue to execute our strategy with precision, and left it at that.
Might as well have said nothing.
I said skilled words of a politician. Thank you. I'm off. But yeah, he said, like I say, he said it with a grin on his face. He knows.
Yeah. Well, at least he didn't do what his ultimate boss said in May and went on and on about how hard Leeds have been working for this window. And here we come, 2 days before the window closes, and we've almost nothing in the wide areas.
It's
which
weird
is where clearly we need someone. But
it's weird. The wide areas last year, like James found it so easy last year, and he struggled, hasn't he? Let's be honest.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the fitness thing anymore either. I think technically, like as a technical winger, he's not that great, and his pace got him through certain situations. And like I was actually saying to the mate beside me today, like it's quite good in a perverse way to watch a really good team that isn't Leeds, because last year everyone, with the exception of like Sunderland and Middlesbrough, were just awful to watch at Elland Road. And I do think the championship stuff that was working just isn't working in the Premier League. So I don't know.
Yeah,
he still has a role to play.
But is it enough times across the course of the season for now?
Yeah,
we don't know exactly yet, do we? But
I think we desperately need someone who's going to make things happen, and it's probably going to be a wide player.
Yeah, I mean, Okafor may do it, but we've no idea. We've seen him once at Sheffield Wednesday in a game that was, let's face it, a bit of a disaster. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, that's the other option as well, isn't it? You don't get an actual number 10. You just get someone who is nominally a winger. But,
well, that's what Brendan was doing, wasn't it? Like tucked inside almost.
Drift,
see, he sits in the corporate box now. He calls him Brendan.
Call him Brendy.
I meant Brendy.
But yeah, like Pablo.
I still want to say the full Brendan.
Pablo was a winger, wasn't he? But he used to just cut inside and do his own stuff.
A false 7.
Yeah.
Indeed. I don't know what 7 is anymore. I've lost track.
Can I just say, I was sat about 8 feet away from Eddie Gray today, which was such a pleasure. It's watching him in action. It's like, do you know, it's like watching
smooth operator.
Well, it's like he's like a almost like a medieval baron or castle owner. He's just like a benevolent one who's just there making everybody's lives better. He just sort of moves around the hall saying hi to everyone. Like, I went to the toilet. Eddie stood there holding little Eddie, having a wee. And I just said, 3 points today, Eddie. He went, oh, tough game. And we just exchanged pleasantries. But he's doing it all with a smile on his face. And then he sits there and sings every single word of Marching On Together, doing the actions. It's just completely wholesome. It was a lovely experience. And I was sat even closer to the new shiny German striker that they've just signed, Newcastle.
Oh,
he was 3 rows in front of me.
Big freak.
Yeah. He does look like a German porn star.
Yeah, he's got a proper throwback look to him, hasn't he? He's got a tash, hasn't he, and slightly weird hair.
He looks like Anthony Gordon in disguise.
God, I'm glad he wasn't playing today. Okay, can we have a moment to appreciate the fact that Harvey Barnes didn't score?
Yeah, no.
Because I think all of Ellen Road went, oh, this guy again. I didn't have much of a kick, did he?
I'm quite confused why him and Alanga didn't start. It was quite a defensive selection.
I must admit,
they had a back 5.
Yeah, I thought one of those would be starting. Livramento was pretty good for him, I thought.
Yeah, he's quite a good player.
Going forward.
He was causing problems, wasn't he? Yeah.
I would quite like to have Tino Livramento in my team, and I think that's searing insight.
Well, if they continue to buy lots of expensive players, Newcastle, they'll no longer need him at some point. Discard him to us.
But that said, Bogle did pretty well against him.
Yeah, don't know what Sheffield United fans were talking about.
Bogle was great, wasn't he?
Really good. Of all the wide players from last year, Bogle seems to have adapted the best.
Yeah.
Like, because Bogle and James on that right side caused so many problems for people last year, and Bogle has continued to do it, but James hasn't so far.
Yeah, I still think James will have an impact. I just don't know if he's the main man on the wing, which is what he was at times last year. He dug Leeds out of a lot of holes last year, and he was the one who was making things happen at times. I just don't think you can expect him to be that in the Premier League.
Yeah, lots to be encouraged by today. I think I came away from that feeling happy, and I've not had any drinking in the corporate because I'm driving home, of course, just on the soft drinks.
Yeah, the massage and everything, though.
Yeah. Foot massage, shoulder massage. It was Eddie who gave me the shoulder massage.
Yes. Did you get any food?
I did, yeah. Little buffet, some meats and cheeses.
Oh, just a buffet?
Yeah.
Poor dude.
It's quite a posh buffet. The little lounge thing.
A full sit down tasting menu or something.
Eddie's banquet.
Yeah.
Well, no, I was at there's the chairman's guests lounge, which is the one that I was in, and then there's the chairman's suite, which is off to the side, which we actually had to walk through to get to the seats. Which is the VVIPs in there. So they kind of come and show face at the other one, which is all the guests, but then retreat back off into the little pokey lounge. But no, it's nice. It's all very informal and modern and stuff like that. And it's all going to get torn down soon.
Must be nice. Must be nice.
Yeah.
I didn't check the pie wall situation in the Cop. I imagine it still lives.
Well, that's one of the weird things about sitting there. There's those little glass walls around you, as you know. And
you should have smashed some food against the wall while you're in there. Said, it's not nice, is it? You sit with food smeared on the wall. So the rest of us are living. I've ripped your toilet seats off too.
But you sort of sit there in the little glass compartment, but then you look out and you can see the West Stand is only a few feet away, and like a lot of the corporate guests are behind as well in what is just basically the old West Stand. You're like, yeah, this ain't it, is it? This isn't the modern sporting way, I don't think. But yeah.
Well, I had a warm pint of Amstel, so I'm very glad you had a nice time.
Yeah, I did.
It was actually warm, not just temperate.
Oh, nice.
It was genuinely warm.
Heated.
It was heated.
Andrew's asking if I asked Eddie if he was a Lidl or Aldi man. I didn't need to. It's quite obvious. He's an Aldi man. He's Eddie. Easy. Yeah. Completely. But you know what? As nice as it is to go into that sort of environment and see how the other half live, won't want to do it often. Like where the lounge is positioned, you can see where the buses arrive. So we watched Newcastle team arrive and get off, and then the Leeds team arrive and get off. And that's quite nice. But then sort of sitting down at the tables, you get no sense of being at a football match. It's just all very civilized and kind of posh. And then you sort of trot out 10 minutes before kickoff and suddenly you're in a football stadium and not like a lounge bar. It's weird. I don't know. It kind of goes against my expectations of football.
It's what we're going to be having when the new stadium comes. We're all going to have that kind of luxury.
And after I've had a taste of it now, I'll be in there.
No,
we'll be talking. We'll mix it. No, I won't.
To be fair, like,
I'm a Bradford scumbag. I'm proud of it.
The cheese wedge does have a similar vibe if you don't feel like you're at a football match.
Yeah.
You feel like it's a piss stop on the motorway. And then you're like, oh, there's a football stadium on the other side of these walls.
It's got like an urban explorer broken into some abandoned hospital or something.
Been asked if I wanted a blanket for my knees. There was a point actually, when it's been chucking it down in the second half. I thought, because I had my shirt and nothing else, and no jacket or anything. I was like, I am a little bit cold. Imagine if somebody I knew saw me with a blanket on my knees. And they're special blankets. They say Leeds United director's box on them, and there's a little like shelf of them just at the bottom of the stairs.
And you didn't nick one?
Mate, there's security all over.
Well,
trying to keep me away from Eddie Gray.
Just get one up your shirt, you'll be fine.
Tell you what, Parag Marate doesn't enjoy himself. Does not enjoy himself.
Good.
He looks like a man haunted. But I actually took comfort from that. I did think that. I thought, good, I'm glad you're suffering as much as we are.
Doing the sums in his head, isn't he?
But yeah, he paces
Investment's gone to shit. Oh, maybe it's fine.
So he paces up and down just ahead of a game, and he looks, he's got a haunted look about him. Yeah. Good.
He does have Russell Martin to deal with as well.
That's true.
And they are playing Celtic tomorrow.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Is he going to be flying up there and giving him the P45?
Sure,
anyway,
go well.
Enough about that bollocks. What's the confidence level, the optimism level, says David? He's asking.
It's all right. I would 100% have accepted 4 points from these first 3 games.
Yeah.
I'd have accepted 3.
3 was fine.
Yeah. 3 would have been fine from wherever. Everton was always the more likely. But the thing is, the Everton result is looking better as well, isn't it? Because they're actually not doing badly now.
Yeah, they won again.
So maybe that was a good win.
I was going to say, you beat me to it then. Yeah. It looks like I was going to ask it. It's looking like a good 3 points, is that, isn't it, under the circumstances?
Yeah, definitely. Today's game was actually, it was not dissimilar. We didn't quite have the control of it as we did against Everton. But in terms of it was a pretty scrappy game, not many chances for either side. Maybe this is the way it looks this year.
Yeah, I would be happy enough if we play against teams in the top half of the division, play like that, and say, out of 10 games, win 1, draw 5 in the top half, and then beat the teams in the bottom half.
What they want is 10 wins, they were saying today. I was speaking to Robbie. It's like the goal is 10 wins.
Yeah.
Yeah. They know that's the goal. So they've got 1. The sooner you can get another one, great. 9 will probably do it, as Brighton showed for years on end under Potter, didn't they?
Yeah.
But
an international break now, aren't we?
Do you think if we had a pinch that it would have been deserved, or was a draw about the right result?
Draw was probably fair,
Both.
Wasn't it?
I don't think you could have argued if Leeds had won the game.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. It never felt like we were going to score.
No.
It only felt like they were going to score because I'm paranoid. There were not really any chances, were there?
No, I had a look at the XG, and it's like 0.59 to 0.42 in favour of Leeds. But
kind of representative of the slight toothlessness of it. But then, like, Mecha just did all the right things, didn't he? But something of a blunt instrument in a difficult game against a tough defence. What do you think of Dominic Calvert-Lewin when he came on?
It looked good.
Yeah.
You see his quality, can't you?
And he made noticeably different runs to Mecha as well. Like it changed the shape of what we were trying to do, which I quite liked.
He looks like he'd be a nightmare to defend against because he's running everywhere, and it's across the defence, and it's not linear as such. Yeah. And I thought he got stuck in quite well as well, which I know is part of his game. Thing is, he's always had a thing for missing chances. So that's probably something we're going to have to live with this year if he does become the starting number 9. Like didn't he have, was it like 22 XG and he scored 10
right.
a couple of seasons
ago?
That
just against Sheffield Wednesday.
So, yeah, I mean, once he's fully fit, I've full confidence that he'll do quite well.
Yeah. I like the cut of his jib. I like how he looks there, up there.
Yeah. I was surprised at how, obviously I've seen him play plenty of times, but he's quite lanky, isn't he? Actually quite a fast lanky man, which is I don't know. I imagine him a bit more of a battering ram, I suppose, at points. But yeah, he's quite. He is a bit Pat Bamfordy.
Yeah,
in that he's surprisingly big and surprisingly quick.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to say was I feel like I obviously haven't watched it. I feel like Sky are going to be sitting there talking about Newcastle and the players that they're missing and this and that and the other, but they'll probably not talk about the fact that Leeds are missing 2 of their starting midfielders, and are not the finished article in attack, and are playing with a goalkeeper, a left back, and a couple of midfielders that weren't there last year, and a striker. So I don't think you can understate how good a point that is against a team that finished 4th last year.
That was my big learning from our last adventure up here, was how hard goals are and points are to come by. So you've got to take them when they come. So you kind of understand why Farke, who gets abuse or criticism or whatever for being pragmatic and a little bit safe, but you've got to hold on to those points. I think when you get to that situation, sort of 10 minutes from the end, and there's not a lot in it. You hope you can snatch something under those circumstances, same as they did, but a point is a good outcome there.
Yeah, as Chris said, Newcastle are how many years into the Eddie Howe project?
3.5.
They're a very stable team. I know they'll complain they've had a bad summer and they'll be without a striker, which fair enough, because Osula did look pretty shite up front, I thought. But, they've got someone else now. They'll be fine.
Interesting just seeing the comments that are coming through from the presser afterwards and the interviews. Sandro Tonali has said that he felt Newcastle dominated and deserved to win what was a largely scrappy clash. But Eddie Howe's actually said it's slightly different. I'm just paraphrasing Graham's words here from the YEP. I don't necessarily quite see it like that. We defended really well. We had moments in the game with the ball. Our creativity was slightly off. The game always feels different when you're in it. I had that many times as a player. To when you're on the sidelines, it wasn't a classic. The game the other night was incredible. So talking about the positives and blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I think everyone's generally sort of happy to come out of that unscathed, I think, on all sides.
Yeah. I didn't really see where a goal was coming from for them until they brought on Barnes and Elanga. And then I was like, okay, maybe that's how they win this.
I can see why Tonali felt like they dominated the game, purely because whenever they had the ball, they looked more dangerous. But I don't think it would be fair to say that they dominated. They had periods where they were clearly in the ascendancy, but I don't think they could honestly say that they deserved to score or win that match.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Can we have a little moan about Guimaraes? Is it people called Bruno? Just love chatting to referees.
Yeah.
Just followed him round all game.
In fairness, what I quite liked about that game was John, who's a Newcastle fan, a mate of mine, we've been chatting about it, and he said Bruno is really good at. He's like typical South American footballer, will get stuck in, but will also draw a lot of fouls and kind of sort of moan and kind of like try and run the ref in that kind of way. And I really liked that kind of Longstaff met his energy today. Like he was giving him a little bit back and trying to probably knock him off his axis a little bit, knowing what sort of a player he is. I thought he handled that quite well.
Yeah, I will say as much as he annoyed me today, I did watch the Liverpool-Newcastle game, and I thought we maybe lack a bit of a prick like him in midfield.
He's a terrific player. He really is, yeah.
He wasn't brilliant today,
but though.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we like that when Groove. I don't think of Groove as much of a talker, really. He just kind of silently gets on with his job, doesn't he?
No, he's that guy. Yeah, he shows up, he does his job, he goes home at 5 o'clock or 7:15 today. I'm actually wondering, do Leeds need another centre midfielder?
That's interesting.
Because if we're going to play with 3,
there
looks like
a lot of talk around Gus Hamer, which to me it makes sense. He's a good player.
Yeah.
Maybe get him on the treadmill.
He's a big boy. I'm concerned. We're not here to body shame, are we?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah,
but he's a bit of a unit.
Yep,
I would say.
Doesn't he take set pieces?
He does take set pieces, and he is good at set pieces.
Yeah, if you can put him on set pieces, you've got a free kick outlet there, and somebody who can ping them towards the head of Stack rather than Stack kicking them off his foot towards the head of others.
I've got to credit to Newcastle actually for doing. I think they did almost every corner was the classic Leeds headed out of the near post corner, wasn't it? They were all absolutely shit. Good, nice to see. But yeah, we had a few people taking him today, didn't we? Again, I think Harrison and Stack both had a go. Did anyone else take one?
I thought at one point I thought Bogle was taking one, but
that was throwing, wasn't it? Yeah,
shot. So no, I don't think there was anyone else.
Yeah. He's still talking about 2 more signings, is Farke, before Monday night. He didn't comment when asked about Buonanotte, but he said, "There's always hope," when asked about additions before the transfer window closes. So tweets Adam Pope from BBC Radio Leeds. But yeah, he's happy with the point. Long season, competitive, give yourself a chance, all that sort of stuff, you know.
Got to say, Hamer's not looking popular in the comments.
No.
needs a Zempic, not a treadmill. Yeah, still a bit of
Do you know what? I think in the same way that everybody, we were talking about this like this week, in the same way that everybody thinks the existing pool of players and squad is not up to snuff in the Premier League off the back of like defeats, and then today probably proved it wrong to an extent. You know, they couldn't compete against Arsenal, but they more than competed today. In that same way, because he doesn't play for us, I think if you put him into that side and he'd put in a crunching tackle, as he's prone to doing and getting yellow cards.
A mistimed tackle is what you would call it, not a crunching tackle.
But he does like to put his foot in, and if he swings a good dead ball in or scores a free kick, everyone would love him. It'd be great. And we can knock him into shape. We can get him running around that track that Marcelo had put in at Thorpe Arch.
Bielsa would have 2 stone off him before he lets him on the training pitch, is what I would say.
He might actually flog him.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
He's got an off-cut of hose that he chases him around the training ground with.
Gus, move!
Do you
Gordo.
If Leeds had signed
Gordo
on the 1st of July, they'd be happy?
Yeah. If he'd been the first one in the door, or Solomon had been together, you're going, right, great. Yeah. It's because we got distracted by Paschal.
Mm.
Well, yeah.
Solomon's on the bench for Spurs today, wasn't he?
El Khanous didn't play for Leicester last night, was it?
Yeah.
Indeed. There are a few names out there.
Claire is suggesting that everyone would not love Gus Hamer. When he was rumoured to be coming to us 12 months ago, everybody was all over
Very,
it.
very different, though. I wouldn't mind at all having him in the Championship.
Matt's just said last chopper out of Sheffield for him with a winch.
like when they lower the cow in Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Get to the chopper.
I'm thinking like an aid delivery. Just Gus Hamer on a pallet.
Those big, really robust bars that they put rhinos and stuff in.
It's been a while since we've done like a signing on the pitch. Maybe it could be lowered in.
Airlifted in.
Airlifted in. Mine's just too long now, isn't it? He might want to get out of Sheffield, though. You wouldn't blame him for that, would you? Lost again today, didn't they?
Maybe he's just comfort eating because of that.
Maybe so.
Yeah. I mean, we heard that when Weston McKennie was here, he was rather fond of using the old Just Eat, well-served takeaway options.
But that's, I mean, I've seen the Juventus documentary where he asks Chiellini, do you have ranch on your pizza? Yeah. And he looks like he wants to kill him. I don't think there's a lot of good places to eat in Leeds. Take one walk around Kirkgate Market. There's an entire array of continental cuisine. He was just a lazy bastard.
Weston, get on your mobility scooter and go around Kirkgate Market.
Damn, we're meant to be being nice to Americans. We're going there in a couple of weeks.
Oh, shit, we are, aren't we? Yeah.
He tried his best.
Yeah, he did. He tried his best. Put that on the gravestone. What else have we got to talk about? Man of the match, who do you want to give it to?
Oh, Goodmanson went off injured, didn't he? That wasn't great.
Although he did do the lap of appreciation at the end and looked okay. He was just a little bit heavy-legged, I think.
I noticed he was injured start the second half. I thought he might have to go off.
Maybe he just doesn't want to go away with Sweden.
Maybe it's a tactical one. One of a Ryan Giggs injury that he used to get. He's got feeling his hamstring a little bit. He's just going to stay here.
Like in Escape to Victory, when the break is at the keeper's hand so Hatch can play.
I don't think it's exactly like that.
It's not, no.
No, I don't think it's like that.
Right, okay, that's what immediately came to my mind.
No, I don't think it's like that. But, yeah, he can stay in Leeds.
I said, who's your man of the match? I didn't say how's Gabby Goodmanson's legs.
I just remembered he's broken forever, isn't he?
Yeah, and speaking of alliterative players, Gigi went off injured and JJ came on.
Very nice.
Justin.
Yeah. I don't know who to give man of the match to.
Probably Longstaff.
Yeah, come on, be sentimental about it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm happy with that.
We give it to Stack after Everton. Slack and Tanaka. Maybe give it to Longstaff and Stack. Thought both the centre-backs played well as well.
I'm happy for Longstaff.
Longstack.
Yeah.
Or maybe Mechie just for the wrestling. I did enjoy that.
That was good. I really enjoyed it. It was a classic like number 9 centre-half battle that's almost been eradicated from football.
But it was just nice to see someone not allowing themselves to be bullied. Just like getting properly stuck in with it.
Yeah.
It was good. But yeah, Longstaff.
All right.
Well
good.
Done.
Yeah, and you got a nice applause from the Newcastle fans. I want to say as well that I enjoy it when Newcastle come to town because they make the Ellen Road atmosphere good as well because they're always loud and noisy and I think our crowd always responds to it. Whereas if you look back and compare it to like some of the Championship away chumps who've come in, under 2,000 of them just sat there, It's like, this is where you want to be in that sort of environment. And Ellen Road was great today, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It's been good both games so far. So, and it didn't have at any point, apart from maybe around the subs, it didn't really have any point at which it could turn either today, which was...
It doesn't take much for it to turn, though, is the
No.
thing. Although we got Bournemouth as the next home game, so that'll be a very quiet atmosphere.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
So I saw Elon Melier today. He walked past me.
Yeah.
He was in worse seats than I was.
Oh, maybe that's telling.
Yeah.
Still in the building, though.
He is. He was there with his girlfriend / fiance / sidekick, whatever role she plays in his life.
Okay.
And they sort of mooched along in the back of the West Stand. But to be fair, if he leaves, as I suppose you've got to expect him to, this is probably him seeing Ellen Road for the last time.
Yeah, I guess so. He's still here, though, isn't he? I almost wonder if he won't leave.
Yeah, there's not that much time to get him and maybe one or two others out the door.
Because he didn't have any first team duties today, did he? Like, if he was on the verge of a move somewhere, he could have been in Paris or whatever.
Suppose. Yeah.
But he's here still.
We haven't done Farker Watch, actually, so I'll take the extra time caption
I thought you
off. Did. No, did we do Farker Watch? We spoke about Farker, but all right, the team selection made sense, yeah?
I was a bit surprised, but yeah.
Subs.
What, you would have started BL?
Well, I thought he might do, was the thing.
Yeah.
Or I thought he actually might start Calvert-Lewin. But
maybe a bit soon.
Maybe so.
Well, considering how like the online world would have held Daniel Farker under quite a lot of pressure going into that game today. And rightly so, given that I felt like all the mistakes that we made at Arsenal were kind of addressed and we did it right today. You know, just the more battling performance, like having Metro up front.
Yeah.
So the ball would at least stick.
I feel like he maybe learned a couple of things from the Arsenal game.
Yeah.
In terms of how they approach and, Mecha and just generally a little bit more solid and up for it.
I was quite pleased he didn't bring Pirro on as well, I have to say, because I was concerned that he might. And I just thought if he brings him on up front, nothing will stick. And if he brings him on to play deeper, we'll lose the midfield. And I was pleased he didn't.
Feels like
I could see the temptation in the Championship in a 0-0 at a home game. That is what we would have done. So to have adapted it.
Yeah, I was going to say it feels like Pirro is almost very firmly third in the pecking order as it stands today, and I could only really see him being deployed in games where we expect to have a lot of possession, or late on in games where we're very dominant and want to try and pinch a goal so we can float around in those spaces,
or just chasing it, and we kind of go.
Yeah,
he sort of plays as a second striker.
Yeah, so extra time, people are asking in the comments about that. Yeah, so we stick about after we finish the live stream and do a little bit more extra audio only for members. So if you are a member, if you go to the control panel part of the website, and you will find your URL there, unique to you, add it to your podcast player, and you can get all the podcasts ad-free. And the version of the match ball that you get some extra stuff at the end there. So there's a little bonus for you, a bit of bonus debrief chat, isn't it?
Didn't we talk about you can just trim the end of the video off on YouTube? We could keep going.
Could do, yeah, but it feels like we stray into sort of more dangerous topics and areas like supermarkets.
You can even put on your shirt.
Yeah, I might do. But it gives us the luxury of an edit after we finish.
Get your nips out for the audio listeners. And
you know,
the audio only people.
It feels different when you're live streaming like this now, for you're a little bit more on guard. When you're recording afterwards, you can just relax into it a little bit more and say those awful things, knowing that I will take them out as you always do, Michael.
Good.
Yeah. So if you want to get extra time and sign up for TSP Plus, we really do appreciate your support with it. Thesquareball.net/plus. Anything to add then before we go off and do that and talk supermarkets?
I'm glad I can feel okay going into an international break.
Yeah.
Because if we'd have lost 3-0 today, it'd have been a really, really grim couple of weeks.
Yeah. And we'd be shouting at Dan for sitting in the corporate seats, being like, tell your mate to sign 2 strikers, Calvin Phillips.
Not my mate, he's just a bloke I met and I spoke to.
You called him your close and personal friend?
Yeah.
You used those exact words?
Mate, we're meeting up for drinks later on. I'm on about Chris, who was sat in there. Not he's not in charge of the purse strings at Ellen Road.
You said you're in the tequila lounge later with Parag?
Yeah. Behind the rope. Behind the rope. P-Dog, as I call him.
Oh, God.
P-Dog. Right, we'll wrap it up there. And we'll do some extra time where you'll probably rinse me a bit more. See you in a bit.
The Match Ball.